Hello, and welcome to another update video on gold. So I'd say that pullback has developed nicely so far into the support region. We have not yet reached the 38.2 retracement level here on the gold futures chart, which is at 3,945. I think reaching it would be likely, at least in this correction. But let's take a look at how this correction could unfold. And also, I mean, let's remind ourselves of the structure. I'm going to zoom out a bit. A quick reminder that the current idea is that this is a pullback in Roman numeral 4. Yeah, wave 2 finished here in August, around the 20th of August at around $3,350. We had a rally, and now the pullback finally. So far, pullbacks have remained corrective in nature. And what did I tell you again and again in these videos? That as long as pullbacks remain three-wave movements and we hold above support, there's no sign of a major top, okay? Now, a somewhat more meaningful top will likely is something that we should consider once we break below 3,817, but it would still allow for this to be a wave 4, okay, as long as the pullback remains a three-wave move. This is simply the first support area I've been tracking. In the last few months, no support got broken in this entire uptrend, so the trend remained up, the focus remained on higher with a potential to dip into the wave 4 support area, and I've highlighted many times that this here calls for a blow-off top to form at some point, so you have to have your risk management spot on. I mean, people talk about all sorts of reasons why this happened. Honestly, after a rally like that, a pullback like that, shouldn't surprise anyone. Honestly, shouldn't surprise anyone. I'm still in favor of another high because it does look incomplete. But we're quite late in the overall cycle, right? I talked about that many times in previous videos. So this is our first support area we're dealing with. After the correction, I highlighted to you earlier this week that I'm expecting a bounce this week. This happened, but it remains weak. It's a weak bounce so far. And in one of the member updates I sent through yesterday, I said, only really if the next move up is impulsive, I would assume a wave 4 bottomed already. There's no impulse there, right? At the moment, it looks corrective. So I do not necessarily expect, I do not expect this wave 4 to have bottomed already. It could have, but then, that's why we're monitoring this price action closely also on an intraday basis. There is no evidence it bottomed. So we might go higher from here. That would actually be ideal in wave B in the orange count. I would say we should at least prepare for, and I find this the more likely outcome, that we're forming a broader correction, that we're still caught in a corrective phase, okay? And the resistance for wave B is between 4,206 to 4,350. So while that bounce I wanted to see is developing on silver as well, it's weak. And so one scenario I see here, so we're operating currently in the orange count, right? That's the idea. One scenario I see is, we could grind higher directly to form this ABC structure. If we see direct upside, then it should, take us kind of to the center of that B wave resistance area. If we see a pullback from here, maybe after a slightly higher C wave internally here. So if I zoom in, hold on. You see that because this is a three-wave bounce, and the C wave is possibly done, nearly done. Normally, a C wave would reach round about the 100% extension. Now, on the smaller time frames, you sometimes get distortions. And we're nearly there already, 100% extension. See, maybe we get another push, then a pullback, then a rally, and that would just be a more complex B wave as shown here. Support is micro support, weak micro support, because B waves sometimes form also double bottoms, but this is a support zone to watch, $4,051 to $4,100, yeah, and then we could still get a C wave rally from here, yeah, so an ABC structure, a broader ABC structure, possible, yeah. So it's important to recognize that this ABC structure might form in a more complex fashion. If we break below 4,050 decisively, then I would have to assume the C wave to the downside in this broader wave 4 that we're tracking is already unfolding. The risk with that would be that we're likely going to break support, because then we are likely going to at least test 3,817. But the risk is then that we're going to break support. And it would indicate a lot of weakness, right? Which necessarily wouldn't be much of a surprise after such a rally, but it would be more weakness than we would want to see in a healthy ABC correction that gives us a scenario where we can still look for higher prices with some confidence. That should give you key support and resistance levels. So I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates for gold, silver, but also platinum, palladium as bonus updates, check out our stocks membership. The link is in the comment section. I put it there for you. It's the Patreon link. It takes you to our membership where we also cover the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, stocks, and much more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.